Welcome to Lesson 1, Part B. We are going to talk about loss limitation policies. The SL component of the MASASP framework deals with it. The first task of this component is to reckon up the probability density function of the profit and losses of our trades. Of the trades related to the trade construct in question. This profit and losses distribution then is analyzed in order to calculate either the second, the third, or the fifth percentile. These correspond to unlikely big losses. Please note that all trades generated by the trade construct are going to be taken into account, not only the subset of trades returned by the predictive model. That is an important requisite in order to stay on the safe side. First of all, we need as many trades as possible. Besides, we don't want that a future possible downgrade of the predictive model might have an impact on these percentile estimates. At this point, we take actions on these statistics. The first action is setting up a stop loss according to any of these percentiles. Note that the profit and losses plotted here are relative. That means that they are measured in basis points. The second action is to scale the position size so that the stop loss setup complies with the maximum acceptable single biggest loss. Let's make an example. If the fifth percentile is minus 1000 basis points, we apply a stop loss equal to current price minus 10%. If our acceptable single biggest loss is just 5%, we will apply a multiplicative factor of 0.5 to the position size of our trading system. The single biggest loss is the maximum loss recorded on a single trade. It's an historical value. It is much bigger in absolute value than the average loss. Instead, the maximum acceptable single biggest loss is the maximum loss that we deem feasible on a single trade. It provides an entry-level risk management tool which comes handy not only to mitigate possible catastrophic losses associated to unpredictable events or news releases, but also to keep the trading system return variance within acceptable limits. Here it comes, the first real-life example. It's related to the long strategy on gold. This picture shows the profit and losses distribution of the trades generated by our trading system. I mean, by the full-featured trading system, which is the predictive model applied to the trade construct in question. We have a catastrophic loss of minus 640 basis points here. Let's see what this distribution will look like after the adoption of the loss limitation policy discussed so far. Before, though, we have to define some terminology. We denoted with T the number of trades generated by the trading system. With X, we mean the expectancy or the expected value. That is the return of our trades on average, of course measured in basis points. That is the core performance metric of our trading system. With TA, we indicate the trading advantage. It tells us how many times the trades are winning compared to the times they are losing. It is the difference between the winning trade percentage and the losing trade percentage. The goal is to have a positive trading advantage. Finally, we have the payoff. That is the ratio which measures the average winning return with respect to the average losing return. The goal here is to have a ratio bigger than 1, which means average win bigger than the average loss. Let me say then that a positive expectancy, which is our goal, stems either from a positive trading advantage or from a payoff bigger than 1. Let's have a look at the profit and losses distribution after the automated loss limitation policy implementation. Remember, the stop-loss setup calculation is made accounting for more trades than those plotted here. It is made accounting for all trades generated by the trade construct, regardless of the predicted model. Nonetheless, what we have plotted here is just the profit and losses distribution of the predicted model, because the performance metrics we are interested in are just those of the full-featured trading system. The application of the loss limitation policy is apparent in this chart because the biggest loss has dropped from minus 640 basis points to minus 360 basis points. That is good in terms of risk management, but sometimes the expectancy might be negatively impacted by the stop loss, because it might turn some winning trades into losing trades, namely when the winning trades have a considerable drawdown. Now, let's go back for a while to the former plot, that without the loss limitation policy. Overlaying the normal distribution which approximates the trade returns distribution we can spot two features of the latter which are absolutely typical of any trading system. The distribution is not symmetrical in that it expands to either the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. Whether it does to the right or to the left depends on the trade construct exit strategy. Here, it expands to the right-hand side. This lack of symmetry is referred to as skewness. The second thing to remark is that the trade return distribution is larger than its approximating normal distribution. It is told to have flat tails. The presence of such tails is referred to as kurtosis. This further output of the SL component makes easier to spot whether the skewness is to the right towards positive returns or to the left towards negative returns. Our distribution has a big positive skewness. That is typical of trend-following systems, or, more in general, of those systems which let profits run and, on the other hand, close their positions quite soon when the market goes against them. These systems usually have no trading advantage, but they have a remarkable payoff. All the MASASP real-life trading systems are of such kind, except the two systems which operate on the British pound contract. At last, we come to the question, why do we bother with skewness and kurtosis? These characteristics of the probability density function of the trade returns make the traditional risk matrix a bit inappropriate. This issue arises not only within the trading system context, but also when buy and hold systems are concerned. Let us assume that we take a long position on a Standard & Poor's, and we hold that position for a long time, at least 1 year, without making any changes. That is referred to as a buy and hold strategy, which is antithetical to trading system. That position will deliver the profit and losses distribution plotted here on a daily basis. These are daily returns in basis points. We can spot the flat tails here too, despite the fact that there is no trading system involved. Hence, kurtosis is an issue inherent to financial issues in general. The difference with respect to a trading system is just that the buy and hold strategy delivers a symmetrical distribution in general, which is apparent in this chart. Well, that's all for the moment with regards to skewness and kurtosis. They will be discussed in details in Lesson 8. Thanks for watching and see you at Lesson 2.